Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 83. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 28th of August, 2013. Beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Uncanny X-Men number 11. See what life's like at the new Xavier School, but what are they being trained for? After spending a couple of hours viewing Brian Michael Bendis' very active Tumblr postings for last week, I now know his 2 favorite movies, as well as his thoughts on many additional subjects, and some great advice to aspiring comic book professionals. However, the only comments that I could find that he shared regarding Uncanny X-Men number 11 were accompanying a post of the 5 pages of preview art by Fraser Irving. Quote, "Fraser's art just gets more and more beautiful to behold." Close quote. Now that's a bittersweet comment considering this is his last issue, as Chris Bachalo returns for the Battle of the Atom crossover in September. At number 2, we've got Wolverine and the X-Men number 35. The Hellfire Saga continues. Wolverine and the X-Men face Mystique, Sabretooth, and the Hellfire Club. What fate awaits the Jean Grey students who joined the New Hellions? The Wolverine and the X-Men landscape is redefined. Series writer Jason Aaron spoke about the Hellfire Saga leading Wolverine into the Battle of the Atom crossover. Quote, "I don't want to say too much in terms of the end of the Hellfire Saga, as there's a little twist there that I don't want to give away. As far as the future, it's something that's been on his mind for a while. He's been in an unusual position for about 30 issues in Wolverine and the X-Men as he's headmaster of the school. That's something he never saw himself doing, and it's a job he still struggles to do on a daily basis. We've seen him feel like he's out of place, like he's not the guy for this job, like it's crazy for him to even consider trying to teach children, but he still labors and struggles on. We've also seen a few glimpses of the Jean Grey School of the future. We've got some idea of how things might turn out for Logan in this school. All of that plays into the Battle of the Atom. Those glimpses that we've seen are of the future in Wolverine and the X-Men. That's the same future that we'll be dealing with in Battle of the Atom. Different characters, but as we go along, it'll be obvious that it all ties together." Close quote. He also spoke specifically about Quentin Quire. Quote, "I think he fits so well into Wolverine and the X-Men because of the change I was making to Wolverine. If you go back to the original all-new, all-different X-Men days, Wolverine was the rowdy guy who was coming in as a voice of dissent. He was the guy who was going to butt heads with the leadership. He was the guy who was going to tell whoever was in charge when he thought they were full of crap. Now we're elevating Wolverine to the spot where he's the responsible one, where he's in the headmaster position. As uncomfortable as he may find it, that's still the position that he's in. So I needed basically the new version of what Wolverine used to be. Quentin Quire fits that role perfectly. He's Wolverine's worst nightmare. He's a super powerful telepath with a deep-seated rebellious streak. It's been fun to watch the two of them butt heads over the course of several issues and also start to develop some sort of weird father-son relationship." Close quote. At number 3, we've got Justice League number 23, Trinity War Chapter 6. Trinity War concludes, but that doesn't mean all ends well for our heroes. The secret behind Pandora's box is revealed, and it means the end of the Justice Leagues. Series writer Jeff Johns explained his favorite aspect of the story. Quote, "We wanted to tell a fun story with all these characters, all these superheroes teaming up for the first time. I'm really happy with the overarching story structure and what happens at the end of all the revelations, but for me, the most fun moments are the interactions. The juggling of the characters was a lot of fun in the sense of the big things that have happened through the story. You get to see everyone have a little bit of a spotlight. Martian Manhunter gets a spotlight, the Atom has her moments, Green Arrow. It actually was a lot of fun to juggle them all. Sometimes characters just react. There's a great line that Jeff wrote when Constantine sees Wonder Woman for the first time and says, 'Are you here to arrest me?' She says, 'Why would I be here to do that?' And Deadman just says, 'You don't know him very well, do you?' That's just wonderful coloring on those characters in that relationship, and Deadman in particular. As much as he is a ghost, he's still funny. He's always been kind of everyman in a bizarre way. To see all that stuff happen with all the characters mixing up was a lot of fun." Close quote. At number 4, we've got FBP, Federal Bureau of Physics. Number 2 was previously Collider. They call it a bubbleverse, not quite an alternate reality, but a pocket universe, like a soap bubble forming on top of another soap bubble that mirrors our own. People from our world are trapped inside, and FBP field agents Adam and Jay volunteer for a daring rescue mission before a devastating collapse. But things are not what they seem. There's a traitor in the Federal Bureau of Physics, and things are falling apart. Series writer Simon Oliver explained the name change after the sold-out debut issue of Collider #1. Quote, you must mean the book previously known as Collider. That's known as FBP, the Federal Bureau of Physics, or FBP. Yeah, these things happen. I think most writers will agree that names are rarely easy, especially with ongoing series. You need to try to sum up the concept, not just one story arc, but the whole bunch, and put them under the umbrella of some kind of title. Unfortunately, at the 11th hour, someone else seemed to believe that they had the name Collider staked out and had planted a flag in it before we did. To be honest, I haven't gotten that involved. I don't know who they are, what their book is about, but I wish them well with it. Am I 100% happy about being told to change the name of our book when it's already been printed and on the trucks? I'd be lying if I said yes, but it's life. These things happen. You've got to learn to take them on the chin and move on. But on the plus side, having to change the name like that makes you take a look at your book, reassess it from a different angle at the time that you maybe wouldn't usually be doing that. Really get back to examine the nuts and bolts and kick the tires of what the book really is about. At the end of the day, it may be a different title, but it's the same team and the same book. Close quote. And at number 5, we've got Lazarus #3, Family Part 3. Forever, now a guest of Family More in Mexico, shares a message and ultimatum. Anne gets to know her opposite number, the More Lazarus Joaquim. In Los Angeles, the twins continue their plot against their father, using Forever as their pawn. Series writer Greg Rucka told the New York Post about his choice of a female lead character for the series. Quote, I think one of the things is she's entirely genetically designed so she can be anything they need her to be. If they need more upper body strength, they can code that. I thought about it, but while I saw the scene, I saw a woman. I don't know why I saw a woman. In the narrative, the man she refers to as her father, the man she believes to be her biological father, he's sort of a narcissistic egomaniac. He's named his child Forever, you know? That tells you a lot right there. He wanted daddy's girl, and part of that is there's a legitimate issue of controlling her and needing to hide her from certain things about her nature. And his major mechanism of control over her is that affection, his ability to withhold it and grant it. But her father's arrogance is such that he thinks it's easier to control her if she's a woman. She's also quite young, 19. A lot of what the story is about is her journey with her self-discovery. Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Thor God of Thunder #12. Thor returns to Midgard. What does it mean to walk the earth as a god? Where does Thor go and who does he see when he's not out saving the world with the Avengers? Also, the return of longtime love interest Dr. Jane Foster. At number 7, we've got Young Avengers #9. We wanted to just write screaming, screaming, screaming for the solicit, but we're told we needed boring old facts. Anyway, the Young Avengers road trip across the multiverse goes proper crazy as it reaches its destination. Its destination is mainly excitement and heartbreak. Several Young Avengers decide what to do next. The question is whether what they want to do next is be Young Avengers. Honestly, screaming. At number 8, we've got Batman Superman #3. It's a showdown that could shatter two worlds when Batman and Superman battle the Superman and Batman of Earth 2. At number 9, we've got Uncanny Avengers #11. Ragnarok now continues. The death of the celestial executioner, the death of all hope, the rebirth of a fallen sun. And at number 10, we've got New Avengers #9, Cole Obsidian. The Illuminati on the front line as the Earth is invaded. The House of Black Bolt cracks. Earth falls. For the best of the rest, this week from DC Comics, we've got Batman Incorporated Special #1, an all-star special featuring the various members of Batman Incorporated, Man of Bats, Red Raven, El Gaucho, Dark Ranger, Knight, Batman himself, and more. In the wake of their epic struggle with Talia al Ghul, the Heretic, and Leviathan, see what's next for the members of Batman's army, featuring stories written and drawn by a collection of industry greats. Plus, Batcow makes her solo debut in a tale by writer Dan Didio and artist Ethan Van Sciver. Next, we've got Batman the Dark Knight #23. Batman and Commissioner Gordon are forced into a tight corner as Clayface embarks on a murder spree throughout Gotham City, but hope surfaces when the Mad Hatter emerges as an unlikely ally. We've also got Catwoman #23. Beneath Gotham City, Catwoman fights for her life. Plus, this issue will make you ask the question, who is the Joker's daughter? Next, we've got Superman #23. The Psy-War epic begins. Psy-War erupts as Hector Hammond tries to take control of Hive from its queen. But there are other forces in play as well, as this new psycho pirate emerges, and Superman is caught in the middle, unable to protect those closest to him. We've also got Talon #11. The clash between Talon and Bane's forces comes to an epic finale on Santa Prisca as Casey Washington desperately seeks Batman to help him eliminate the Court of Owls once and for all. Next, we've got Teen Titans #23. Kid Flash finds himself on the run from his past as a growing rift between Red Robin and Superboy boils over and could tear the Teen Titans apart just as their speedster teammate needs them most. And we've got Tom Strong and the Planet of Peril number 2 of 6. Tom Strong and Val Vargarm have reached Terra Obscura, but the help they sought is still out of reach. New Lancaster has been devastated, and their investigation is met with resistance from a local mob of anti-science hero vigilantes. From Marvel Comics, we've got A+X number 11. Thor and Magik fight demons in Limbo. Cyclops and the Superior Spider-Man face off. Next, we've got Avengers Arena number 14. It begins here, the last story arc of Season 1. The contestants have fought one another. Now can they put aside their feuds and battle arcade? We've also got Captain America number 10, the shocking Dimension Z finale. After over a decade in Dimension Z, Captain America must make his final push to escape, but at what cost? Enter Godzilla, a shocking death and an action-packed conclusion that will leave Cap changed forever and leave you gasping for air. We've also got Captain Marvel number 15, Infinity Tie-In, Part 1 of 2, Infinity Event Tie-In, expanding on the capture of Captain Marvel and Hawkeye, plus the return of Binary, Fisticuffs in Space. Next, we've got FF number 11, Purple, Green, Impossible Town. And we've got Gambit number 16, who is Gambit's friend Fence. How did they meet? And what secrets is he hiding? To save those dear to him, Gambit must attempt the impossible, and he'll need all his thieving skills to succeed. The past is gone but not forgotten in this explosive penultimate issue. Next, we've got Thanos Rising number 5 of 5. Thanos Rise is now complete, setting the stage for Marvel's massive universe-changing event, Infinity. And we've got Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 26. Spider-Man No More continues. Spider-Man is back. Will Cloak, Dagger, Bombshell, Spider-Woman, and Spidey be enough to take down the evil Roxxon Corporation? And what is Miles' new girlfriend's secret? From Dark Horse Comics, we've got Captain Midnight number 2. It's only been 72 hours since he appeared in the present, but 3 people have already tried to kill Captain Midnight. When faced with an FBI agent tasked with his capture, a fanboy pilot who knows his history, and the badass granddaughter of his lost love, the time-traveling hero must decide if he can trust these unlikely allies as he attempts to take on one of his oldest enemies. We've also got the massive number 15. Ninth Wave's presence within the United States' now sunken borders has caused a disruption that a rogue U.S. Navy battle group plans to end. Mismatched and outnumbered by a fleet of larger ships, the crew of Capital must rely on the unexpected aid of a rogue member of Ninth Wave in the explosive conclusion of Brian Wood's comic book Return to New York City. From Image Comics, we've got Mind the Gap number 13, R.I. Peterson, Part 1. The race to kill L begins here. Min and her lackeys wrestle to control the final fate of L, but there are others who may be one step ahead. The only thing that's certain is that L must die. As L's time as she knows it winds down, learn how it all began with a flashback to the origin of Jarrus. Is this the beginning of the end, or just the end of the beginning? Next, we've got Morning Glories number 30, with the solicit simply, Smaller Rebellions. We've also got Sex number 6. What is the Saturnalia? Simon Cook's lawyer wants to know, and he'll do anything to find out. And we do mean anything. Also this issue, the unfortunate consequences of high-tech supervillainy, and you knew we'd definitely ask, do sex and politics mix? And we've got Think Tank number 9, Field Test Part 1. Dr. David Lauren used to worry about his deadly consequences of his creations from the safety of his laboratory, but now he's been deployed to Taiwan to oversee a field test gone awry. Will having the mysterious SEAL Team 6 as his bodyguards be enough to ensure that David returns home alive? Out in trades this week, we've got Absolute Superman Batman Volume 1 hardcover, collecting the best-selling run of Superman Batman written by Jeff Loeb with art by Ed McGuinness, Michael Turner, and Pat Lee. The iconic superheroes unite when Lex Luthor, now President of the United States, accuses Superman of a crime against humanity and assembles a top-secret team of powerhouse heroes to bring Superman in, dead or alive. And in the second story, prepare for the arrival of Supergirl. Batman has discovered something strange on the bottom of Gotham Bay, which leads him to a mysterious and powerful teenaged girl bent on destroying Gotham City. Collect Superman Batman number 1 through 13. And we've got X-Men Magik, Storm, and Illyana trade paperback from 1983. Colossus' 7-year-old sister Illyana Rasputin has been snatched away by Belasco, Demon Lord of Limbo. Though the X-Men rescue her what seems like seconds later, those seconds represent a years-long ordeal for Illyana, one that starts with losing a piece of her soul and goes downhill fast. The Sorceress Aurora and Feline Warrior Cat, alternate reality versions of X-Men Storm and Kitty Pryde, aid young Illyana against the terrors of Limbo, including Belasco's henchman Sim and a twisted, perverse version of Nightcrawler. Trained in good and evil magic, Illyana learns to control Limbo's teleporting stepping discs, but as the final battle against Belasco arrives, can't good triumph over evil when Illyana doesn't know which one she is anymore? Collects Uncanny X-Men number 160 and Magik number 1 through 4. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available. I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers. You can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section of he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.